streaming, start recording, and things should hopefully be working. Yep. Things are green. This is probably going out now, so that looks good. Nice. Excellent. I'll send a quick little social media thing, and then I'll hang around for a bit while I wait for people to populate. What? Gotta select some social networks and send. And that's looking good. Nice. We are rocking and rolling. Okie doke. Let's bring up Resolve here. And let's make me a little bit smaller, because no one needs to see that much of me. And we are looking good. Sweet. So there is a little better way to have this. That is a little better way to have that. Cool. That's good. And that's good. Nice. So that's saved. And now we'll just play around for a little bit while we wait. So probably around 2:05, 2:10-ish, we'll probably actually get started. So until then, let's play around in Fusion while people, populate. So this was something that was suggested by a comment to make a tutorial on making a portal. So we'll play around and try and figure something out. So I made a solid color, made this into a composition or a compound clip that we can bring into Fusion. And now in Fusion, we'll have all sorts of good stuff. So we've got media in, media out, and this is looking fantastic for now, right? Nothing going on. So since this is going to be a portal, we are going to want to create a particle system, because particles and portals go hand in hand. So we'll just start this off by making a source for our particles to emit from. So we'll end up using the P image emitter node. So we will create a background, and we will make this white, and we will add a circle mask to this, and that'll be fine. We'll go ahead and clean this up a little bit. We'll make our background something a little bit smaller, so like 540 by 540. I've got to turn auto resolution off. Greetings from India. Whoa, that's wild. Greetings from Nashville, Tennessee. All right, so if we view this background now, see you've got a circle going on. And for those of you just joining us, we're just playing around with a little portal effect until we get into our first grade, just waiting for the lobby to populate as it would be. So we've got this, and we will duplicate this. So Control C, Control V. And in this one, we will make our ellipse a little bit bigger. So we'll bring our border width up. How do we have another southerner in here? Yeah. And then to cut one out from the other, there's probably a better way of doing this effect, but I'll just do a channel booleans. Channel boolean, drop this down, put these into some arbitrary inputs, and change this from copy to subtract, and we'll view this. And that's not looking too good, is it? So hit Control T, and there we go. So now we are subtracting the little circle from the big circle, and we've got, something looking good. So we can even make this a little bit bigger, because we'll probably want that. Nice, and now I've got something for our particles to emit from. So next we'll start creating our particle setup here. So Control Space, P image emitter, and we'll drop down a P render, and a merge 3D, and a camera 3D, and a render 3D. Nice. And we'll just pipe this output into our P image emitter, and we'll view this, and I'll save real quick. We should actually be viewing our renderer. And let's bring up two windows since we're working in 3D now. So we will view our our merge 3D over in viewer 1, and we'll just drag this guy back. Nice. Oh, and I should probably actually turn on some key casting so people can see what I'm doing. So that's going on. And P render. We're not getting anything coming into our P image emitter yet. So we've got a density set up. That's looking good. Maybe if we just play through some, go back to the beginning, it might need to cache. There we go. It did just need to cache a little bit. So I'll go back and view our render. So nice. That's looking just wonderful. And if we play through, that's not very portally yet, is it? So we will go ahead and add just a little bit of wind / turbulence / velocity. So P image emitter, we will change this lifespan to something like 1,000. Actually, no. We'll make it less. We'll make it something like 50, and we'll bring the variance up. Because this will keep our particle count a little bit lower. We'll bring velocity variance up just a little bit, and angle variance up a little bit. And nice. That'll be doing good. So save this again. Now if we play, you can see we have something happening. I'm not sure how good this is coming through on YouTube, but you know, something's happening there. Now make this look even more portally by, in between our P image emitter and our P render, we'll add a couple forces. So P vortex will be our first one, because obviously, you know, vortex, portals, we need them. We'll crank the strength and power up a bit. And we'll call that good and play through and see how this is looking. So nice, we got some rotation going on there. Something else I might do is, after our channel booleans, I might just add down a quick little distort or displace in here. And we'll just add some noise, fast noise, and we'll pipe this into the displace. And we'll view this node and make this, we'll try radial first. Yeah, there we go. Nice. So now I've got a little bit more variation on there, which is pretty nice. See if we can turn the frequency up on this, which should also bring the scale down and contrast up. Nice. So now I've got a little bit more organic looking thing going on here. Excellent. Now we'll actually change this back so it's just emitting the whole time. Okay, so I think that we change stuff around. So we'll make this lifespan like 1,000. And that's rocking and rolling. And we'll be at a place soon we can start grading some footage, which will be fun. And we might pop back to this a little later if people want to see it. But P turbulence. Whoop. Drop this in here. Shift drag. And nice. That's looking good. We'll do strength over life. And we'll just make this so it starts off a little bit nicer and then gets less nice. And we'll bring the Z strength up, because that'll be cool. And we'll go back. Nice. So now it's starting to really look like a portal thing. Next thing that we'll do is, right after our P render, we will do a quick little transform 3D. And we'll just squeeze this on the X a little bit. So scale, squeeze the X so it gets a little more of that classic portal shape. And there we go. That's looking pretty good. So the other things that we might want to do just for this base part before we get into color grading is we might want to up the density of our particles just so we get some more stuff going on in there. So we'll make this something like 1.5, 1.5. Let's get a little more. We'll play this through some. Nice, that's looking a little bit better. And then you think this is cool now, just wait till we make it look good. So this is like a pretty nice base for a particle effect. You can of course layer all sorts of other stuff on top of this, but we'll say this is a good thing to composite from. And now we will drop down a background, and that automatically merges, which is pretty nice, but it merges it in the foreground, which is no good. So hit Control T to flip those. And now we will drop on a glow. And we'll view that, and aha, glow. Glow's where it's at. So make this first one a little bit smaller so we get a little more like positional contrast here. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but you know. We might even make this one just a little bit yellow on the highlights. And then we'll drop in another glow. Sucks when you can't edit yourself out, right? And we'll make this glow size a little more as we view it. Nice. And we'll make this one a little bit blue. And we'll bring the amount down. And do we have any sort of like vector blur? Because I love vector blur. Vector motion blur, but that's not what I want. Don't know what very blur is, but that might contain a vector blur. Nope. Well, I think that we'll call that good for our little temporary portal effect. And now, let me see real quick. Is Manny in the stream somewhere? Manny is the first clip they're going to be taking a look at. So, also, if anyone in the stream has clips they want to take a look at, we didn't get very many submissions, so email them in and we'll take a look at it on stream, which will be a lot of fun, I think. And if we don't, then we'll just keep playing around in Fusion until I get tired and have to leave. So, save this. Oh, just for good measure, we'll go ahead and add a little output here. But there we go. We've made a quick little portal effect. I'll make a bigger tutorial on this later, I think. We might go in a little more depth on stuff, but for now, I think that's, you know, fun enough. So now we'll go into our first actual clip. So this is a clip from Manny King, who graciously sent us this lovely looking clip. And Miguel, the full version of Resolve 15 is out, and it is much faster and more stable than any of the betas. So if you haven't already grabbed it, go ahead and grab it. Blackmagic is, red stream health. That's no good. Can everybody still see stuff okay? I get a little bad stream health thing. But if it still looks good, because it's just saying a keyframe issue, and we don't have much movement, so keyframe shouldn't really matter too much. But yeah, let me know. So what was I saying? Yeah, Manny sent this clip and wanted to know, pull up this email real quick, how to get the proper white balance for grading and film look, and basically other basic color correction stuff. Excellent. Thank you. How do you say your name? Kalia? K-E-A? Keela? Gosh darn, I'm bad at everything. Sorry. Blender? We might get into Blender later because I didn't get very many. This is the only clip I got sent. So we can do whatever we want on this live stream. We've got no obligations. So I'd be happy to hop into Blender or Houdini. Anyone want Houdini stuff? I'd love to just play around in Houdini for an hour or so. But let's take a look at this clip first. Kayala? Kayala? That sounds right. Kayala. Nice. Thank you. To buy the studio version, you can just do that on Blackmagic's website. It's sort of hidden away, but if you already have an existing license, I still have my same dongle from like 12.5 that's just kept on keeping on. And I've got 2 more under my speaker here, but Blackmagic design, support, Davinci Resolve, Studio, whatever. I think that also if you're on, excellent. Thank you, Kayala. I appreciate it. But yeah, I think that if you're on the Apple's computers, you can go to like the App Store. But let's see. Or yes, so yeah, this thing says Davinci Resolve Studio. So blackmagicdesign.com/product/Davinci Resolve all the way at the bottom. Yeah, go ahead and ask a question about the quality tab. By that, I'm guessing you mean the deliver tab, but let's get working on this clip first also. Oh, look, shameless plug for some LUTs. Let's just drop one of these on there. That'll be fine. That's all of our grade. No, it's not. It's not. Oh, if anyone wants to see a preview for new unnamed LUT pack, got fun stuff going on here. Ooh, that one looks nice. If anyone has a good name for new unnamed LUT pack, I had a lot of fun making this. Ooh, that one's a little bit much, but have a lot of cool stuff. I agree. Let's talk about purchasing resolve. Okay, so white balance. This is, first of all, this is from a Blackmagic Ursa Mini Pro 4.6K sent by Manny King. So thank you for that. So the footage already looks gorgeous because it's a gorgeous camera. And like it looks really cool straight out of the thing. I don't know if you have a LUT or anything on it, but this is raw footage, so I'm guessing not. But since he shot it in raw, we can rock and roll. Color science version 3, version 4. What's that look like? I like version 3. That's a little punchier. White balance, we'll do custom because he asked about white balancing stuff. So we don't have any really good reference besides skin for white balance. So let's hit Control-Shift-W to bring up some scopes. It's Control-Shift-W, right? I'm not. Oh, weird. Where'd that keyframe go? Or not keyframe. Where'd my scopes go in general? Where are you? Scopes, where'd you go? The color blaster pack. Nice. Timothy, I'm happy to keep you company while you back up some footage or whatever. That sounds like a very typical working video post-production person problem. Okay, so we don't really have, like I said, any great reference for white balance besides skin, and I don't have any scopes to look at for some reason, which is interesting. Because they won't come up. So I have to go by eye. So, you know, obviously, first of all, this looks a little bit blue and a little bit green. So, I mean, I guess the first thing we'll think about is what was this probably lit by? And since this was shot at ISO 1600, I'm guessing, I'm not really sure. This highlight looks a little bit Kino-ish, but we'll look at the reflection in our eye, and that's a little bit square. So it might be an LED panel, but this doesn't super duper look like an LED panel. These highlights kind of look like an LED panel. And this back here, I'm not super sure. But, I mean, I guess we can just start making this look normal. So I guess the first thing that we'll do, so we'll change our tint around because it feels like it needs some magenta in it. So we'll scoot this. And the bad thing about using camera raw is you can't really A/B it too well. Thanks, Timothy. So we can't really see if we're doing any extra harm. But see, if we move this too far, it looks bad again. But if we start moving it back, I mean, this is still obviously way too far. But right about there, you can see a nice contrast between her lips and her skin. So if we reset this and Control Z, man, we can't go back. That normally works. It was like 7-ish, right? Oh well. See, that does bring out a little bit of that detail there. A little bit better. So that sort of adds a little bit of life. And then I guess it could maybe be a little bit warmer. But like I like the overall vibe of this clip. The skin still feels a little bit cool and stuff. But I think the actual color is good. I think it might just be these daylight highlights. Whenever it should be like a darker scene. I think it's supposed to be a dark scene with how it's lit. I just can't tell. If it's shot at 1600, but it looks like daytimey, I don't know. Does anyone have any ideas? So we'll warm this up. Not that much. That's way too much. We'll make this more like 5600 probably. Because they sort of look like LEDs, but they look like the color looks better than most LEDs that I normally get. And this sort of purpled it up, so I'll bring this back. Green. I still don't love that as a starting place. We might just go and start grading and then see what we get from there. So let's do something a little bit funny here. And we'll drop on a color space transform, and we'll use this guy, and this guy. And we will output this to aces and aces. And we'll bring it back from aces and then go back to Rec 709. Ooh. And we need to bring tone mapping on. So luminance mapping, saturation mapping. Let's see, clip, simple. Luminance mapping. Just output straight to airy. But aces is so nice. I mean, look at that interesting transform that you get in here with that. I mean, the reason why I would convert to, I don't really need to convert to aces before going to Rec 709 is just a bigger environment for your tools to work in. So it doesn't get you any more dynamic range, but it sort of gives you more space to work in. So it's like if you're baking, you still have the same amount of ingredients in the same size oven, you're just putting it on a bigger like work surface, if that makes any sense at all. I mean, I think this is interesting, just doing the wrong color space transform here, but we'll take this from airy and log C. See, I don't like that as much. I like going from aces. I like working in aces. I read the technical stuff on aces, and I like aces. I think it's smart. So there's aces. I still don't think this is super duper right here. Oh boy, that's taking a while to save. Okay. Put this at 9 again. I'm glad you get the baking analogy. I thought it was kind of far-fetched. See, this doesn't work super perfectly, I guess, because of... See, do we tone map the input also? Is that part of it? No, it's not. Okay, so now we'll start playing around. So that sort of brightened it up, which I don't hate, because I like stuff to be sort of on the bright side. I'm not normally a big scopes guy, but not having them sure makes me mad. So I don't like what's going on here. Let's just grade this normally. So we got this going on, and we'll just bring up some primaries, and let's expand this out a little bit. Boy, it sucks. Let me just really quick try and restart Resolve. I'm normally not a big scopes guy, but I really want to check stuff on this since it's just sort of about making stuff look normal. And the reason why I don't like to use aces in the project is just because a couple months ago, back when, or it might have even still been in Resolve 14, I used aces in a project, and something went horribly wrong, and it just screwed up everything when you encoded it, and there's just artifacts everywhere, and you couldn't fix it in the grade, so I had to just redo the entire project from scratch. It was only like not the whole project, the last like 4 minutes of the project. And that was just really annoying. So now I've got, a little bit of beef with just grading all the way in aces, even though grading all the way in aces is very cool. And makes a lot of sense and is the future. But, oh, look how bright this is. Okay. Do we have scopes now? What the dick? Okay, well, I guess I'll need to put some sort of... The scopes aren't on any of my monitors. Maybe... Does Windows think that I have... No, those are all the monitors I have. There's no, like, extra one. Yeah, Lucas, send the footage over. I've gotten a lot of questions about red footage recently, and I don't have any projects with red footage in it that I can use. So if you've got fun red footage, shoot that over. Reset workspace. Workspace. Reset UI layout. Show scopes. Aha, ha, ha. Yes. Yes. Nice. Good job, team. We are rocking and rolling now. Learn something new every day. All right. Get rid of all this trash I don't need. All right. And we'll make this small. Okay. So now, you see we've got her skin right here. So the way this is lit, it sort of has me a little bit confused about where the actual values should be, because it does look a little bit lit. Definitely a hacker. Hacking the mainframe. So it makes it look a little bit lit, but it's filmed like a narrative thing. So I'm sort of confused about like the style we're going for here. Because if it was like narrative, then this would be like pretty dark, I think. Like more of a muted like Gone Girl thing. But since it's sort of like more front lit, it feels like it should be more commercially. So we'll put her skin at something like the normal like 640 mark and then expand stuff from there. Ooh, that looks gross. We'll do it like in a good way. There you go. That sort of makes more sense to me. If we just underexpose this coming in, that's probably not a good thing to do. But for some reason, that all of a sudden made the footage make a lot more sense to me. So now we can put this about where we want it to be. Nice. Okay. So now that luminance feels about right. So she's still a little bit underexposed, which I think is fine. I sort of want to darken him down, but we'll do that later on. And now we're going to just make sure that our colors are where we want them to be. So actually let me bring up the best the best skin advice I can give you is shoot good skin. What does it look like in motion? Well, I'll see that in a second. For now, I'm going to bring up just some reference. Okay, yeah. So I can't go for that because Gone Girl looks like it was lit very practically, and this was, looked like it was lit, looks like it was lit a little more commercially. So we got that. But I do want to bring the contrast up a little bit, bring these blacks down. Let's make sure we can, hopefully we don't take that out of context. We'll just sort of get this feeling all right. So yeah, I like the way her luminance is now. I think this is a nice contrast for her, and we can work the rest of the scene around this. And I like the general saturation of this. I'm normally like a pretty oversaturated type of guy. I mean, if we just add a little bit of life, yeah, I mean, I do like that, just adding a little bit in. But now we'll sort of make the rest of this go around. Someone wanted to see this in motion. So yeah, this is a locked off shot, so we can, I don't know why all of a sudden started not doing great there. but it's going pretty smooth. This is on my working drive, so it should be relatively quick. So that's nice. Yeah, so I guess let's just start darkening down the rest of these scenes, because right now this door is really bright and this guy is really bright, and we always want to look at the girl instead. That's not me being sexist. That is just doing a little bit of Facebook marketing, realizing that girls get 80% more clicks than boys. So if you're going to break me over the coals for that, it's not me, it's the numbers. So we'll darken down this door. And let's bring the gamma down. Nah, we'll bring the offset down. We'll do this like pros. Bring the offset down. So that's feeling a little nice. Let's bring the overall contrast down. We can't bring it down too much because we do have these highlights. We might phone. Nice. Timothy, you can save a color grading preset in your gallery. So you've got power grades, and you can just grab a still, and that will contain all the nodes that you have, and then you can make a power grade album and call this like Tim's grades, and just put it in there, and it'll be in every project. So you can just have a standard thing and do that. And it looks like it's all about we also got you there. So nice. So we got this door looking a little bit nicer, and we'll get this guy happening too. So Alt P to create a parallel node, and we will go ahead and be pros and like actually do a little bit of halfway masking here, but not too much, because don't want to do too much work. There we go. We delete these points. Boy, Resolve 15. I was giving you so much love before, but once we get live, then things stop working right. All right, so we'll bring the outside out some, inside in some, and we'll just do the same sort of thing. We will bring the offset down. These highlights look a little bit less highlighty, so we can sort of move this a little bit better. Nice. Good stuff. Just laughing at the chat. Not an insane person. And while we're doing this, let's also just like add more big vignettes to the whole thing, because I do want to make this moody. It feels like it should be moody. But you see already we've really redirected the focus in this shot, so we can see her. And we haven't even lit her at all. Lit, quote. Can you see it? Yeah, lit. So we don't need all this stuff up here. So in this one, we will bring a linear window. We'll bring the offset down. And we'll probably just add another gradient, and I'll put this at the bottom. Bring the lift up a little bit so it's a little bit less obvious. Nice. So that's looking good. And this will be annoying, so you'll just reconnect all these guys. Can you create like a pipe router node like you can in Fusion? No, that would be nice. So you got this. The overall scene feels like a little bit blue-green to me, but I don't think we'll fix that yet. And it's probably fine. It's got like that cinema look. Like it looks good. I was like getting, actually like good shots are sort of the hardest ones to grade, because like you actually have to do a good job to do your job, while getting like really garbage stuff is good because you can just like make it look better and people think you're a genius. So props off, what does that mean? Props to people who like always do good stuff. Got that. In this one, we'll just, I feel like I do want just like a little bit of warmth in the overall shot. So I'm just tweaking the gamma. So hopefully you can see that. So this is before, Especially look at these yellows over here. We really get like a bunch of pollution. And then after, it sort of puts them in a little bit more of the right space. So I can sort of deal with that. And maybe we can just like put this more in the center so it like falls off. That could be interesting. And then we'll add one more. This door really bothers me. I'll try. I think this is a bad idea, but I'll try putting in one more just gigantic vignette around here. I'm making this more of a traditional one with the gamma. Nice. And then before that, I think this is good how it is now. Let's see. People were talking about skin stuff, but she really doesn't need it at all. I mean, her skin's good. We might just do like a little qualifier in here and add some contrast just so it really pops. So we'll go ahead and track this. So turn off 3D because we don't need it. And track forward and track backwards. Heyo, nice. And then we'll just do a little qualifier in here and Shift H. It's looking good. And we'll just blur it all to heck. And we'll just add a little bit of contrast. So we all know I like adding contrast to the skin. And we'll give it a little bit of sharpening. Just like that. And we'll change this pivot so it's a little bit lighter again. So you see, it just sort of brings her out a little bit. So that's before. It's nice and natural and smooth, but after we get a little bit more of that commercial vibe where we really like, boom, she's the focus. Because she's the one doing acting, so I'm guessing that like she's the focus. I think we'll call that good. I mean, I probably wouldn't spend that much time on this clip like in the actual movie. Yeah, the new Pocket 4K looks really good. I kind of want one, but I'm shooting a lot less. I'm mainly doing post-production stuff now, so you know, I shouldn't buy those things. I already have 3 cameras. I don't need more. But yeah, if you're buying a camera for under like $5,000 or maybe even $10,000, it looks like the new Pocket Cinema camera. It's the way to go. I mean, I guess if you're under $10,000, then the Ursa Mini Pro 4.6K is the way to go. Reds are overrated. They're great, but there. If you have unlimited budget, not even unlimited. If you just have like a lot of budget, get it. If you're working DP, definitely get it. But if it's between spending $50,000 on a red setup, I guess probably more like $70,000 total, or $70,000 on a Blackmagic camera and a set of nice lights and a set of nice glass and a trip to Iceland with a pretty girl that you can film, like that's going to get you way more jobs. But also, if you're just the only guy in town with a red setup, especially if you're in like not a major city and you're that guy. Yeah, and Ari's gorgeous too. Love Ari. It just depends on what you're going for. But anyway, I think we're going to call that good for this shot. I saw that I got another submission here, so we'll go ahead and download that real quick. Oh, we got some S-Log too. So, this is, sorry, I'm just working on another monitor here. This is, ooh, how do I spell your name? Oh no, I don't use Bing or Edge or whatever. That just automatically comes up and hit F1. Oh, okay. And save this. And these are MP4s, so it won't take that long. Save. And failed. You goob. Not gonna fail. Okay, so that's taking just a little bit to download. So if anyone has any other good questions. Yeah, you can get Sony's under 10K too, but there aren't really any Sony cameras that I really love at that price point. The FS7's a good camera. Other people can get good stuff with the A7S. But I think if you're like trying to make good stuff in that same price range, I think the Blackmagic stuff is better. And Blackmagic doesn't pay me for some reason to say that. That's just my general experience with stuff. If you're doing more like run and gunny, like camera operator stuff. Oh, I took another look at this and it looks a little bit green still. So let's fix that. I think the Sony cameras are a little more usable. There we go. That looks a little nicer. And let's warm up these highlights some. That's too much. And let's see before. Let's bring these shadows back down a little bit. There we go. That's a little nicer. And that puts the skin a little more where I want it. And let's just see what happens if I do this. Actually, I know what I need to do. I need to go. Actually, that looked kind of nice. See what that looks like again? Yeah, that's kind of nice. And we'll go to hue versus hue, which I missed. There we go. We'll just bump these into a little nicer color there. GH5 is awesome too. My goodness, I was shooting a thing a while back and I had my big Ursa Mini 4.6K rig and another guy shooting had a little GH5. I was so jealous. It's got inbuilt stabilization. You just run around getting awesome stuff. There's like a lot of security at the event, so he like getting more places than me. Jealous. Simple handheld effect in Fusion. I'm sure there's like a wiggle modifier. They're used to perturb probably. So I guess we could do that in this clip. So I think if you just want like the simplest thing, we drop down a transform and drop this in here and right click on the center, go to modify with perturb. Shake might work also, but I've used perturb before. And we'll go to our modifiers tab and open up perturb and make this like 0.1, 0.1. And let's just see how this looks for now. We'll scale this up some. Ooh. Just need to scale it up a little bit more. Well, that's how you do a really basic handheld effect. Yeah, Timothy's right. I mean, the C200 records that raw format, which is okay, but for some reason, when I shoot stuff on the C series, or when I grade stuff on the C series of cameras, it's really hard to get that like papery look out of it. So I don't know if that's a problem with Canon log or with the sensor or what. It's just the Blackmagic, the whole pipeline there. It's just everything looks good. Oh, this will be an interesting one. Yeah, sensor size can be like getting really big sensors is really nice, but if it's between a big sensor that looks bad and a little sensor that looks good, I mean, what are you going to choose? The GPUs I have in my computer right now are, and I just got your email. Oh goodness, how come everyone that talks has a hard name? Z Somboro. Pro tip, when you send an email with a file in it, don't tell people that you're a hacker, because that can make them a little bit wary. Okay, cool. So we got this footage. Let's take a look at it real quick. There's no people in it, so we can do whatever we want, it looks like. I climbed a tree yesterday, so there's that. It was fun. I was going on a walk, and like I used to rock climb a bunch. By used to I mean like a couple months ago, and then like it just stopped being fun. But I was like, there's no one around, and there's a bunch of trees. What if I just like climbed a tree and like hung out for a bit? So I climbed a tree yesterday. That was part of my day yesterday. So nice. This looks good. Nice stuff. We probably won't spend too long on it. It's just it's sort of, there's no people in it, so we don't have to work too much. I have never worked with 35mm DPX scans. I would love to. I think that'd be gorgeous. Did I ever finish talking about GPUs? In here, we've got 1080 Ti, 1070, and Titan X. And I'll probably get an RTX 2080 when those come out, because they look super hot. Maybe you can hear the garbage truck in the background. Yo, man, just accept the grain. Grain's cool. If it's shot on film, you get that grain. Hey, Manny, did you see what we did there? The reason why it's difficult to grade is because it looks good. So you can't do too much to it. So you see, this was shot on S-Log2, and I'm not going to bother with any color space transforms in here because it's just like, looks like, it looks like something my eyes, ugh, sorry, I can't talk today. It looks like something my eyes can deal with pretty well. So I'll normally do color space transforms whenever I just don't know what's going on. I just sort of need to do something technical. But for here, I mean, we can just sort of balance our stuff out so it looks sort of like the real world. The real world will be a little bit cooler than this, I think. So we'll do a little bit of a cross process. I mean, can do also new unnamed LUT pack. And it's got a bunch of these really good it's like that'd be cool if we just turned it down. Be cool if we turned it down. I made all these in 3D LUT Creator because the guy gave me a code so I'd make a review on it, which I'll make one of these days. And turns out that piece of software is actually like really cool. I avoided it for a long time because I thought the name was dumb. Ooh, that's cool. I thought the name was really dumb, and then I downloaded it and I was like, oh shoot, this is amazing. So if you're thinking about 3D LUT Creator, I mean, check it out. I think that's kind of nice. Let's see. And Timothy, the size, just make sure it's not ridiculous. I've got good internet. Goodness. Sorry, I can't spell your name. Z Sombro. Could you resend your footage in a Dropbox link? I don't mind grading footage that isn't exposed well because I am a super lazy at exposing stuff. All right, so this is like a good neutral grade for this, I think. I mean, the white balance is on pretty well. I might add a little bit of saturation. So I think if you just like normal stuff, I think this looks pretty good. If we're going more narrative, then we can like do a little bit of a mood with adding like some cooler shadows. So put this at like 0.1 and 0.333. Maybe even like 0.42. You see, now you can see we're sort of cooling these shadows down a little bit, which is a little bit nice. That might even be too much, so we'll bring this back up some. And then in a parallel node, I mean, we might even just move our highlights a little bit yellow, just to give it a little more vibe. And I guess the focus of the shot, the subject, is this tree branch right here, so we might mask that off. GPU is much more important than CPU for Blackmagic most of the time. Fusion, I think, has more. I don't know. Just in general, you need more GPU, but CPU is harder to upgrade. Maya Bridge is good, but I have to like click on stuff. I'm super duper lazy, man. I have to agree to 2 things. What is this? What even is this? All right, that's downloading. If everything breaks, we know who to blame. Andrew, what would be the benefit of creating a Fusion clip before going in the Fusion page? Is there one? Is it like a pre-comp or something? Timothy, I also wish that 3D LUT Creator had an OFX plugin. If it did, my goodness, that guy would make so much money. I'd buy that in a heartbeat. It is incredible. I mean, let's bring it up real quick. And let's finish this shot off. So I just want to, real quickly, since this is on sticks, just highlight this tree a little more. So we'll just do a really rough mask around here. Boop. To bring it in some. And we'll soften it out some. And here we'll up the contrast. And outside node we'll bring down. Go back to our normal primaries. And we'll bring this down. I have a little more of a dramatic shot here. And we might even like cool the rest of it down. We'll warm this middle one up so it's more of like a sunbeam type thing. And we'll refine this just a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so back to that. So I think that looks pretty good. Might even add a vignette after that, just to say we did our due diligence. Just vignette and everything. I'd wear that t-shirt. Vignette me. Nice, so there's that. So now I've made this shot look a little more interesting, I think. Maybe sharpen this one just a little bit, or mid-tone detail would be cool. So normally, unlike these B-roll type shots, we won't spend as much time in a grade. Just bang them out pretty quick. I mean, it of course depends on the budget, if they've got money. But I think that looks pretty nice. And then we can, of course, just apply the same thing to the other one, do the same sort of thing with the masks. How is this going on the download? That's rocking and rolling. Did I see someone else sent me some footage? No. Nice. Sorry, we're going to open up. We're going to do something in Fusion. So one thing, if we go into new Fusion clip, if this was like a pre-comp or something, yeah, this ended up looking good. Good job. Though, real quick question. Does anyone see that this viewer window is brighter than this program window? Because I've been noticing that, and that really bothers me. Like a lot. Is there a setting that I'm missing? Like gamma's wrong? Because that's like a pretty serious difference there. I don't think it's my monitor. Because I mean, is it my monitor? Get some no's and some yeses. Well, if there's any yeses, then it's not my monitor. So I don't know what's going on there. It's not like a big difference, but it also is kind of a big difference. Oh, that's a good idea. Screenshot. Goodness, I need to just do all my work live. So that people can tell me all the stuff that I'm being stupid about. And open up Photoshop. Yeah, I calibrated my monitor Tuesday, but that would be a uniformity thing. Okie dokes. It looks better in Photoshop. There's like a way to make a marker, right? Yeah. Sorry, I'm being silent here. Just working this out. Okay, let's put this right on the highlight there. Put this one right on the highlight there. I don't know. I think they're different. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so this is my air bridge. What even is that? And okay, so we will select this real quick and Control J. The opacity something like 40. Just align these two. Now we'll go back to our color tool. Yeah. We'll bring this back up to 100%. Yeah, I mean, let's see. This is still not completely accurate. Sorry for the just really riveting content of Theo figuring out what's going on here. Oh, are these different times? Maybe that's it. That could be the problem. Okay, let's get back to like doing something interesting because we had some stuff download. So, uncompress this real quick. Oh, nice. So we got another DNG sequence. So I'll have another time just figuring stuff out. So this is in here. This. Hopefully I spelled your name right. I'm sorry if I didn't. Ooh, this looks nice. Is this also on a Blackmagic camera, I'm guessing? We all know I like my Blackmagic cameras. Okay. So what do you want done to this footage, man? This looks good as it is. Is there like a subject or something we need brought out? Could be a little brighter, I guess, but I mean, it kind of looks like Looper. Oh, 5D Mark II. Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah, cool. I mean, it looks good. Do we get raw options with this? I assume so. Nice. Drop this in linear gamma, and then we will color space transform from linear there it is, and color space 709 is fine. Let's make sure we're correct in there, and then we will output this to aces. Nice. Then we'll take it from aces back to rec 709 and turn this stuff on because that's recommended. All right. Nice. And Timothy, I saw you sent something. I think I saw. Yeah. Oh, but someone beat you to it. So I'll download this stuff real quick while we're working on this guy. And we can also download Timothy's stuff. Oh, we got red stuff. Nice. I think Timothy will probably be the last guy that we work on today. So, ooh, that's cool. Download. Yeah, that's a totally fine file size. Nice. Okay. So I like this shot. I think this is cool. This feels like, you know, B-roll-y stuff. There's not a real subject, so we'll sort of make it look good. So I'll, in here, so just expand things out. It's a little too bright. You can see since we're in aces, I can like really push things really far around to get where we want to be. This might be a little bit oversaturated. I can't really tell. Just add a quick one of these guys. Once again, in a real project, who wouldn't spend much time on these shots probably. So really focus on the stuff with the talent. So just like sort of zip through this real quick. We got this. If we have any sort of like grade that we've applied to the whole thing, then we'll drop that on there. So we'll pretend like that's cute. Let's turn this way down and pretend like this is our full grade. Once again, still looking for names for the new unnamed let pack. Lol. So that's obviously way too much. It's sort of a cool look. But well, let's turn this down. Down, 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 down. Blink 182. Down, 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 down. Maybe we'll warm this up beforehand, just since it's sort of a cool grade. Brighten it back up a little bit. Warm it up some. There we go. I think that looks pretty nice. I'd be cool with that in a movie. Maybe in the center. Just add like a little bit of mid-tone detail for the fun of it. So it really makes stuff pop out. But yeah, I mean, if I saw that in a movie, I wouldn't be disappointed. Nice. You're welcome, man. Switching to aces, I mostly just do that. Honestly, a lot of the time, just whenever I sort of need inspiration to get started, to just sort of get my hands moving. You don't really need to do it. It definitely helps if you're in RAW. If you're doing stuff with lots of different cameras, then that helps out a lot because it'll sort of even out the playing field since it transforms everything into the same color space. So if you've got, you know, this RAW footage and you've got, you know, some Sony footage and that's like an slog3 or something, you transform all that into ACES, then it'll be a little easier to copy grades between stuff and keep things more even. And that's sort of what ACES was designed for, like the actual full ACES workflow. But using the color space transform is like a little cheap way to do that without going full ACES, which can be kind of annoying, and which I don't trust after one annoying project where it screwed everything up. So one of these days, I think it's fixed now, but yeah. Shaky shot, make it look stable. This shot looks totally fine. I don't see what people have against shaky cam. This isn't even annoying. This just looks like good indie movie stuff. Boy, this looks really nice. Who would have thought something that looks like this could come off of... You said it was a Mark II, right? 5D Mark II? Edward, yeah, middle clicking is how you do it. So if you go to clips here, probably the easiest thing to do would be to, we'll just copy this guy over a bunch of times. And let's say that we have, let's create a new version here and reset all these, and I won't reset all these. I'll just delete some of these in the middle. They'll replace the LUT with something. I'm really doing more work than we need to do for this. But so we'll, one of these soft vintage ones will be a little nicer. So then you can just click on the clip that you want to go to, and then middle click on what you want from, and that'll copy it over. And you can do, I think you can do multiple clips. Yep. So if it's not working, make sure that you have middle click enabled. Yeah, if you're on Mac, then sometimes it's not, because Macintoshes just seem to hate a bunch of useful buttons that you have. Okay, so we got that. Other footage is finished downloading. So, boy, I'm really impressed with that 5D. I normally don't like DSLR footage, but if that magic lantern thing is really happening, rock and roll. Okay, so we got this and extract. Let's see what this is. Cool. Nice. So it looks like it's a cool knife. Let me quickly mute some audio. There this is, and this. And who sent this? This was Lucas. So thanks, Lucas, for sending this footage. And we'll just find a part in here. And call that good. And drop this in. That's a little short. We'll make this less short. You know, let's give ourselves a challenge and like actually, I was just going to do the close-up part, but you know what, let's do the interesting way. Cool. So that looks good. Food stuff, always fun. Go into color and should probably start on him. Looks like the lighting doesn't change too much, so we're pretty much good. I'm going to start this out making it, you know, nice and even looking. And just sort of playing around with these so we get something that looks good. What was this shot on? Do we have metadata? Nope. Oh, nice. We shot at 60. That's always handy. Cool. Looks like GH5. Thanks. So really the first main thing that I see, we'll see if it gets exacerbated as we sort of crunch this up. What is that? Oh, gross. Did not mean to do that. That's not that bad. Is that Alt A? And that's a little bit bright, I think. But I mean, that's not like a terrible starting place. I haven't used that function in a long time. So a little bit, this looks pretty good. I mean, the thing I'm looking at is, I don't think it's anything we need to fix, but we might try. We've got a little bit of pasty white guy syndrome. Oh, I didn't know the PANA file name was for GH5. Thanks. So you saw that our auto color grading there, which we did by accident, actually worked out pretty good. I mean, just since we're here, let's try. I don't normally get to use these tools. So this is for like the absolute white. So we'll go. See what that looks like. Yeah. I mean, I think we've got a good start here. Yeah, I'm sort of liking this primary. So we'll go ahead and we'll just do a little bit of skin qualifying. So Shift H. I'm going to be really loose with this. Like super duper loose. One, because it's H.264, you can see we're still getting a little bit of noise in there. And two, just because we're not going to like do too much. So denoise blur is also what I wanted. Now we'll bring the low saturation up. Bring this width in a little bit. There we go. And that should be fine. And now we're just going to sort of, first of all, go into our curves and just try and get a little bit of this magenta out of his skin so it looks less like a pasty white guy. Oh, I did not know that you can drag the things on the qualifiers now. So you can see we get his skin tone here. So we're getting various levels of smurf and vomit. So there's normal, and we'll just move it down just a little bit to take a little bit of the magenta out. And then we'll add some contrast. So yeah, I mean, it's really subtle, but I think it helps out. A little bit of contrast there. And now he's sort of got some engagement happening. Let's see what happens down here. Not too much, just sort of popping out this knife mainly, which isn't really something I think we need. So we could probably just animate this guy. So this is corrector 2. Add a keyframe, go to our this guy, drag this around some, set it back to 1. Here, make it 0. And now we can actually refine this around some. You said we could drag these guys now? Oh, cool. Nice. I'm into that. I did not even read about that feature. Nice. Goodness. I think I'm faster doing it the old-fashioned way, but this sure is neat. So yeah, let's sort of add some engagement on him. And then Alt-O. I don't really like that. Oh, that was not an email I was expecting. So we'll just darken around here some. So I got a little bit of pasty white guy syndrome, so Bring the warmth up. There, that's it. Now he's been in Jamaica for a bit. Got a nice healthy tan going on. Yeah, always choose neat over efficiency. Most definitely. Because if we're not having fun, why are we doing this? If I wanted to make money, I'd be a heart surgeon. No, I wouldn't. That'd be the worst job. If you're a heart surgeon, any sort of surgeon, good for you. I really like the best part of my job. Check this out. After this saves, which is one good part. Check this out. Control Z. Ho, ho, ho. That is a very nice feature to have in your job. And now this is a little oversaturated, so we will go ahead and bring the saturation down. There we go. Nice. That looks good. That sort of fits in the scene a little better. And I mean, I sort of really had a lot of fun using stuff from my new unnamed LUT pack in here. So I mean, we'll just see. These are a little bit much. Look, I made a YouTube one. Isn't that fun? Ooh, that looks bad there. Yeah, I'm not feeling these on this. Because this feels like it should be sort of more neutrally grayed. So I'm trying to think. Because it isn't there yet. We can all agree with that. So this looks a little bit yellow to me for some reason. Why is that? So that's a little bit too blue, but bring it back in some. That works. I feel like the whole thing should be... I mean, we definitely need some sort of highlight on this part. So we'll just go ahead and track that real quick. While trying to think of something to do. So what I'm going to do is actually just track the cutting board since his hand's moving. And then I'll just reapply it later. So track, cool, and backwards. Nice. And now we'll go... Yep, we're in clip, so we can make this however we want. Let's turn off tilt. And increase the contrast some, change the pivot around. See how that is looking for now. You know what, I just want to do this manually. Tracking that is silly. So we've got this. This is corrector 5. And Jeopardy music plays. Good stuff. And this goes. And now we're out. So that's a decent transition. Yep, that works. Add vibrancy without screwing up the skin tones. That could work. I think part of the problem is I thought that these two shots would go together without having to do too much keyframing, but turns out I was wrong. So yeah, so add the contrast here. So those apples are real bright now. There is just like a lot of yellow in this shot, which is strange. So I might just go hue versus saturation. Bring some of these yellows out. While I'm here, I'll bring some of these pinks out. That's too much. And let's try and... I don't think vibrance is right, but we might try that out. what vibrance does for those color boost, sorry, is it only increases the saturation of stuff that doesn't have much saturation. Actually, that's not too bad. That sort of looks like Martha Stewart. And now this one, it's just so yellow up here. So I think down here looks relatively fine. His skin's still pink, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything about that right now. At least I don't think I want to do anything about that right now. So we'll just add another corrector and we'll have this go. This is number 7. And change this around 1. I need to snooze this. And keep this at 1 here. Go back to our other one. We goofed up. So it should be 0. And now it should be 1. Nice. So in here, let's make sure it wasn't this that screwed everything up. I mean, it kind of was. So bring this back down a little bit, but not totally. It's still back here, sort of bothers me. This is 7. So we were at, and for this one, we'll take the inverse of our key there. And just bring this towards blue, because blue in additive space is the opposite of yellow. And that might be a little bit much blue, but I sort of don't mind it. I'll just darken it down some, and we'll reduce the saturation. And that really helps out a lot. So it looks a little bit graded. And this and that. These pink arms really bother me. Should I fix it or should I move on to the next clip? Let's fix it. I don't want to be lazy. I don't want to be lazy. I do want to be lazy, but I shouldn't be lazy. So where do I want to do this? I'll do this here in parallel with this. Alt-P. And here this is. Add one of these guys. This is node 9. And there's that. And make this 0 and 1. And now the opposite of pink is green. So we'll try moving this green first to see if that helps out. I don't think it will. Well, it does help. I think green's a little bit too much. So we might need to do a quick little qualification here. Just get the arms. Shift H. Nice. The lows up some. And then just really blur it all to heck. That works. Bring this width down so we don't get the food in there. And bring this in some. Nice. And now we can make this a little more there. Bring the warmth up. And Shift H. That helps out a lot. Might even bring the highlights up to be a little warmer. go. I want the shadows to be warmer too. Just everything. Change the offset. I mean, we've gone this far. Doing it messy. Wink. And bring the highs up. Still get a little bit of pinkiness there. But I think overall it's much better than before. So in this guy, I'll reduce the opacity of some because this still looks a little bit yellow. There we go. And that blends in a little bit nicer. Sweet. I have used the second page of matte finesse controls before. I haven't really gotten any good results with them. Normally, if I need to go there, then my key's just not good enough anyway. So I'll just mask or do something else. I'm sure that they're cool tools, but I just haven't got any use out of them. Nice. So I'll call that good. And now we've got some red footage to work with. So were there any specific questions with this? I think this was from Timothy. Let's see. Nice. Heyo, I like sailing. And so this was anamorphic. So clip attributes, probably like 1.3-ish. Oops, that was the wrong one. I wish they just give me, oh, there it is. I think it still might be a little bit much. Is it like a 1.33? Unless 2 to 1, really? I guess so. Look at that. Nice. I mean, this already looks pretty good. Is there anything you want done to this specifically, or just play around? Ooh, nice. Nice big file. Oh, I didn't. You gotta put this in your edit page, Theo. Goob. Play around. I can do that. Makes me want to go sailing again. I haven't been sailing in a while. Ooh. Okay. I mean, this, like a lot of these, they just sort of like look good. So can I bring my debugger settings up? Can at least do half res premium? Full res. Much nicer. And we'll, version 2 is fine. What color setting do I want it to be in? I think Dragon Color 2 is totally fine. Red log film. Red log film. Nice. Is this HDR footage? With the blend type. Yeah, I saw the matte box got in the shot a little bit. All right, so how would I grade this? Is this for like a narrative thing or a music video or a commercial? What's our target audience for this? Optical low pass compensation. Optical low pass filter compensation. Image detail. We don't play with any of this yet. We'll sort of play around some. Narrative. Cool. Do we have linear in here? We do have linear. So we'll go back for aces. It can be stylized. Trippy film with dreamy stuff. Sorry, I only half read that. Too excited to go back into aces. Oh, input color space. This is dragon color. But gamma is linear. This is aces and aces. Alt S. Go from aces and aces. Luminance mapping and saturation mapping. Cool. All right. Don't really feel like getting rid of this. I think in this case, I'd probably just rotate and scale the clip a little bit to get the matte box out of the shot. Okay, so this is looking nice. Got here, add a new node, and we'll make this pretty contrasty because it is bright when you're out on a boat. Bring the saturation down some. Or not. If I'm going stylized, because like I like the light, I can like see everything. I think I might make this guy a little bit brighter. See if I got any ideas floating around in here. A little bit too YouTube-y. Drop this on and turn it way down. Make it look like a American Apparel commercial. You just drop a little bit of that on there so it gives it a little bit of warmth. And just while I'm thinking about it, we'll go ahead and track this guy. Oh, so you said you're in Australia, right, Timothy? Very jealous. Australia looks very cool. And track this bad boy. And forward. Nope. Oh, did Resolve crash on me? No, it didn't. It just played through. That's the problem. Forgot to turn on loop. What a goob. All right, so go back, turn on tilt, turn off zoom. I should have turned. No one caught it when I turned off tilt before, and it should have been rotate. Oh well. So that looks good. And here we'll just brine him up a little bit. Just so it sort of fits in with his buds. And then we'll add some more general contrast. And I mean, the lens we have has enough nice character in it that we don't need to do too much grading. What does that mean? Oh, thanks for the super chat, whoever sent that. I appreciate it. Zombies music video. Funny stuff. I pitched a long time ago. I had a meeting with a publishing company. I think they were publishing, or there might have been a publicity company. But they had a country artist, and I gave him 2 pitches for a music video. One was super cliche, and one was this awesome like zombie horror thing. They picked the cliche one. It was lame. The zombie one would be so much better. It'd be so good. It was like a typical country song of. Let me look it up. Like the line was, "You don't have to be crazy to love her, but it helps." So it'd be like these 2 people like fighting it out in a zombie apocalypse, and like she'd be like this hardcore person. It would have been way better than just like people on motorcycles and horses. And we got to go on a canoe. That was fun. This is the retail version of Resolve 15. I haven't really had many issues with it, but that might just be because I had so many issues with the beta because I was irresponsible and used it on like actual projects. But so far my experience with the full version of 15 is very good. I sort of like this grade for it. I feel bad using a LUT that isn't even out yet for like a good portion of the grade. But Timothy, I'll send like all the people that sent footage a copy of the LUT pack, and you can tell me which ones are cool and which ones suck, and then I'll take out the ones that suck and then do more stuff on the same lines with the ones that are cool. You graded a hardcore zombie music video? That sounds like fun. I like grading like hardcore and metal music videos. I got to do like, let's do a metal version of this. Control Y, create new version. Take this off, and now we'll do. I really do kind of like that LUT in there. Now we're gonna do the heavy metal version, just for the kicks and giggles. So like really contrast this up. Saturation way down. More contrast. This guy looks sort of like a handsome Australian version of my old roommate. Heavy metal. Need more blacks in this. What I should do is, we'll do this after all this stuff. This is more of a grady thing. And Alt P in here. Monochrome. The blue's way down. There we go. Now it's looking like heavy metal. And then we'll set this to overlay. Yo, set the blend mode, brother. Oh, there's a parallel node. There we go. And composite mode, overlay. Oh, just talking about how I had some lens distortion too. Yeah, well, just after talking about how good Resolve has been, it crashes. But anyway, I mean, I think that's like a pretty good place to call it. Oh, no, I still got a few more minutes. I want to be on until about 4-ish. HDR metal. Goodness, HDR grading is something else. There's a complicated Guga. Resolve 15 made it less complicated, but once I figure it out, I'll make a tutorial on it. I have to check that out. Hollow World Wildfire. Resolve not even going to start up. Yep. So if Resolve crashes on you and doesn't start up, open up Task Manager and you'll find another Resolve instance going on. And then end that task, and then you can start it back up. Metal GPU. Isn't that like an actual architecture? Is anyone here getting the RTX 2080 or 2070 or whatever when they come out? Did you guys see the release thing for the Quadro ones? There's some impressive gosh darn stuff in there. Makes me want to spend money. Oh look, this got reset to using thumbnails. Cool. No problem, Coca. Glad you like the tutorials. All right, I just want to do this silly metal thing again because I was having a lot of fun with that black and white. And then we'll do like, I don't know. Oh boy, it's nice whenever you can have like offices buy stuff. Like my friends that work at like real jobs. Because I don't have many friends anymore that work at like real production companies. So much of this scene is just like very independent-y. But like a place I almost worked at, like right out of school, one of my friends worked there. He'd be like, yeah, I'll ask my boss if he can buy this for me. It's like, what? You can do that? That's crazy. But I have no commute. I get to work with people all over the world because internet. All right, so there's this. I'll bring the blues way down. This is going to get a little noisy, but it's going to be fun. It's metal, so we can have it be noisy and people won't care. Let's save this real quick. Composite mode, overlay. Oh, interesting. Does overlay just like not work? Looks like I get to send a bug report to Black Magic. Setting this to overlay crashes Resolve. Okie dokes. Film restoration. Oh, yeah. Nice. That's cool. That's a cool job. Were you the guy that was talking about DPX sequences earlier? Because that's cool stuff. I bet you get a lot of really interesting projects. I haven't seen this picture yet. Look at how goofy this is. What? This is funny. It's got Kimmy Schmidt eating ramen. Good stuff. I like this. Nice. DPX. Very cool. Well, I'm really sad that we can't use overlay anymore. That's weird. Oh, wow. You're hardcore. So I'll just do this boring way. Just reduce the opacity, which will be probably a better effect anyway. No, not a better effect. What other blend mode could I use? Hard light would be close. Does any blend mode crashes Resolve? Black Magic's based in your city? Hey, hook me up, dog. I've gotten all of one email from Black Magic, and that was just basically telling me to promote one of their videos. I don't want to like be a high and mighty about it, but you know, I've made a couple Davinci Resolve tutorials. All right, Tyler just emailed some footage. I was gonna end it at Timothy's, sorry. But since Resolve keeps crashing, we'll do one more. Oh yeah, and you sent me this earlier. I should definitely do this. Oh, matching footage is fun. Download these. Okay, let's start Resolve back up. Thanks, Timothy. My PC information. Threadripper 1950X, 128 gigabytes of RAM, GTX 1080 Ti, GTX Titan X, GTX 1070, Decklink Studio 4K, various hard drives, NVMe boot drive, 2 SSDs, RAID 0 for a normal working drive, and then a server upstairs with a lot of other stuff with 2 10 gigabit Ethernet connections between the two. And then there's also another computer up there with a couple more GPUs in it for rendering in Blender. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Threadripper's cool. I really want to get the new one, but I sort of want to wait a little bit. I had one Threadripper just randomly die on me. That was weird. I was gonna turn my computer off, accidentally hit hibernate, and it just sort of like, I was like, something's wrong. I tried to turn it on, it just wouldn't turn on, and like the NVRAM got corrupted or something. That was very annoying. That was right after I had a liquid cooler stop working, not just stop working, it leaked all over my components and caught one graphics card and my motherboard on fire. So that was really annoying. So don't buy the Enermax 3x120 all-in-one liquid cooler, because that leaked all over everything and was a big issue for a long time. And I still haven't gotten money back from them yet, but maybe one of these days I will. So yeah, that was like a week and a half or 2 weeks of my life during a bunch of projects. So luckily I had the render node computer upstairs. I just brought downstairs and used that. And that's a 12 thread or 12 core, 12 thread i7, 6 core, 12 thread, I think. And then I could put a couple GPUs in there and it was fine. But I was just pissing and moaning because I was only on 12 cores. Okay. So yeah, this matching footage got downloaded. So extract here. Nice. And let's see what we got. This looks like fun. Edit. Okay, so one's graded, one's not. Cool. We can do that. Does this edit like this or like the other one? We'll see. Sorry that I'm not using keyboard shortcuts in the edit page. I'm still a Premiere guy when it comes to editing. So one of these days I'll switch keyboard shortcuts over. Yeah, rip indeed. Okay, so. Nice. This doesn't look like it'll be too. Well, we'll see. It looks like fun. Anyway. I like matching footage. It's good because I don't have to be creative. I can just like try. So select both clips. That guy and highlight. No. Selected clips. So we'll match the flatter clip to the less flat clip. Yeah, scene detect is cool. I like scene detect. That's interesting. I mean, first, just out of curiosity, because of earlier today. Oh, that's not doing anything. Go back to this. So first we will darks and lights, and I'll increase the saturation so we can sort of see what's going on. Yeah, ooh. So we're probably gonna need to move into curves for this. guys around. Resolve does handle multiple GPUs somewhat. I did a test a long time ago and was going to make a video about it, but it does help it out some. It's not like a huge improvement, but it's not no improvement. I mainly have a bunch of GPUs for 3D rendering though, because that does scale very well. There's that, and do this. Does Premiere like multiple GPUs, or are you being sarcastic? Yeah, I thought Premiere pretty much just uses one. Okay. And so we still have some extra greens in here. Our greens is overall are more saturated than in the other one. So hue versus saturation. I didn't even know that Premiere used a second one for rendering very much. Okay, we'll also do saturation versus saturation, I think. Yeah, that's helping out some. So these are closer. We need to warm up the skin in this shot. Yeah, just generally this shot I think needs to be a little warmer because of the jacket and her skin. Ooh, excuse me. Then, so yeah, I think we're pretty much good there. Lol. Right after that, if you've seen it, the tutorial on that one Blade Runner look, right after to put that up, a director that I was working with on a thing was like, we need to do that to the entire film. Yeah, I think that keying the skin like you did, Tyler, is a good idea. But for matching, I always try and do it all in one node. Unless it's just like really bad. But I mean, we're getting pretty close here. Her face is still needs to be brighter and less pink. So we'll probably do that in the curves. Change these guys around. Looks like you're just sort of clipping a little bit there. So let's see what we can do. So the opposite of magenta is green. So we'll go to our green channel. And green, reduce green. There. No. That didn't work. So this, we could probably still lose a little bit of saturation in the greens. And also, it just feels a little warmer. Is that warmth or is that just saturation? Whoa. We go on to the next shot. That's funny. I think this shot might be a little more saturated than the other one. feel like the brightness levels are pretty close. Obviously, the roll off under skin in this one is nicer than in this one. I think that might just be the camera that you're shooting on. But I could probably like reduce. Let's see, where's this on our curve? I need to go out of this to do that. Okay, so it's about there. It's good to know. Let's hop back here. And I'll just sort of reduce the contrast in this area some. And that will hopefully smooth her face, the light on her face out a little bit. And we should probably turn on the editable splines. Yeah, we're going slow because it's on a live stream. And we're also doing matching. So you do this once and you apply it to every other clip in the scene. So you can take some time. So we've got that going on, and now we'll go back to her jacket. And right there, I might even shift the hue a little bit. And we can adjust our luminance a little bit more. I think our saturation got a little bit high. So we'll bring that back down. Bring it back up a little bit. I think that might be matched enough. What do you think, Tyler? Should I keep working on it? Or do you think this is matched enough? We'll take a look at the other reference. Boop, do. This looks like the reference has a lot more magenta in it. And there we go. Now it's correct. I mean, I think now we can do the rest in the grade, matching them up. The color space transform might work. We can try that out too. You said this was a mirror in the A7S2. Excellent. So I'll create a new version here and reset. And this will go to color space transform. And let's drop these guys on here. Do you say slog2? Or is this slog3? Probably 3. And we'll put this in aces and aces. Wide is the area? Really? I guess so. Keep it civil, y'all. Oh, not aces. Alexa, log C. Yeah. Much better. Oh. ALEXA. Got excited about that. And now we're going from here. Not there. From here. Goodness, I got really nice for a second there. Now in this one. And actually, sorry, that was just, I think I'm getting tired, y'all. All this talking. Yeah, it wasn't S-Log. Sorry. I was just on automatic. And this was... Or was it just all Rec 709 all the way through? I mean, maybe. So now we'll go through and can match in here. Yeah. A7S, I don't know what it is, but some people can get really good stuff with it. All of the stuff that I get on A7S is not amazing. Oh, yeah. There we go. Sweet. So, I mean, already so the color space transform is like a pretty good idea there. So now we'll just sort of even these out. Whoa. Let's turn off these handles. It's being annoying now. Yeah, I think that really helped with their skin a lot. Do that same thing of reducing the green some. And yellow. There we go, nice. Okay, and bump up our overall saturation after that. Change the hue, that's a good idea. Yeah, I think that was it for that. Oh yeah, my eyes are getting tired. But yeah, I think that color space transform did a little nicer job. Then I liked what we did before also with the luminance versus saturation. That cleaned up stuff a nice little bit. And the saturation versus saturation. There we go. Do we need to change the... I guess we could change the tint a little bit. Oop. Not that much, though. I think that's close enough there. We could probably reduce this area a little bit more. It works best. That makes sense. I never thought about that. Thanks, Timothy. You're a smart cookie. Yeah. Nice. I think that's close enough. Reduce the light on the shirt. Should be darker. Let's do it. All right. Anybody else have any suggestions for this? Are we going to call this good enough? And I've never used Nucoda. Is it cool? Oh, yeah. Well, it's 4, and I wanted to go until about 4. So, nice. Good job, everyone. You missed the start. Don't worry, Fable. I've been recording this, so I'll upload it to YouTube. I was going to post a tutorial today, but then I didn't feel like it. So I decided to do a live stream instead. Because I didn't have anything interesting to do in the afternoon. So I thought I'd waste 2 hours and just hang out for a bit. And have some fun. And it's always nice whenever there are people smarter than me in the stream that, like, tell me about, you know, cool stuff. So thank you for all the people who are active and stuff. Yeah, it was a cool time. Goodness, sorry, run out of words. So for the people who sent footage, I will send you a copy of this Resolve project so you can link stuff up and play around. For everyone who stopped by, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for making me feel cool. That's always good. Sorry we didn't get into any Blender. I know there was someone asking for that earlier. Maybe we'll do a Blender Houdini live stream. I would love to do a Houdini live stream so that more people who are smarter than me can tell me things I can do better. Because that's the best part of this. I feel like I'm going to keep on rambling on long enough. Also, the people who sent footage, I'm going to send a copy of unreleased, unnamed LUT pack so you guys can check it out and tell me ones that suck and ones that don't suck. I'll take the ones that suck out and I'll do more cool stuff with the ones that don't suck. Or if you don't want to do anything with it, that's fine also. But, yeah. I think we'll call that a stream. Thank you everyone for coming by. I want to do more of these because I think they're a lot of fun. Yeah, Houdini Lights, GG. Cool. Yeah, I'll stop rambling on. It's always really nerve-wracking stopping a stream because, like, what if you don't stop it and then people just watch you watching Netflix for the rest of the day? That'd be pretty embarrassing. But I'm going to sign off here. Thanks again, everyone, for coming by. It was a cool time. I'll quit saying thank you, and I'll just stop the stream now. 3, 2,